That is pure fucking insanity.
You're listening to The Mean Geek, comics podcasting on the very ragged, raw, leading edge of friggin' civility.
It's like, you gotta be. The guy's looking at me like, you gotta be kidding me.
Well, since you're so incredibly rocking on podcasts, I guess you know what the routine is.
Yeah, you ask me a bunch of questions, I introduce myself, get all those wonderful little listeners tingling out there with excitement. So to start off with, my name is Everett Soares. I'm the creator and writer of Sky Pirates of Valendor. And I'm going into this cold because no one told me your guy's name. They just said, go do a podcast. It's like, okay, I'm here.
Well, just so you know, you are now on The Mean Geek, episode 43. Comics podcasting on the edge of civility.
Now, is The Mean Geek something like someone that goes into a geek frosh if they get a Star Trek trivia question wrong or something? You got that wrong, man.
Yeah, actually, he'll do that.
Yeah,
sadly.
I will.
Okay, what is your name, first of all?
My podcasting name is Tech Jedi, but I'm Adrian Hunter otherwise.
Adrian. Okay, we got an Adrian.
I'm Bill.
Bill.
The Reverend
Adrian.
Mad Duck.
Okay. All right, we're happening now. We are actual human beings with names.
Can we get a blessing, Rev?
Rev, come on, Rev.
All right, bless you, fuckers.
Okay. Well, hey, my friend Eric Lopkin, who's sitting next to me selling action figures. Eric Lopkin is a Jewish individual, but he is ordained by the Cyber Church of Get Yourself in Gear. So now he's Reverend Lopkin.
Get yourself in gear.
GetYourselfInGear.com. Yeah, get her done. So I had to refer to him, a Jewish individual, as Reverend Lopkin. So there's divine comedy even at comic book shows.
Most particularly a comic book show.
The 50-cent bin is divine. I can't complain.
Have you seen the attendee? Didn't mean to say that.
The unwashed masses become one. Hey, it's still summertime. I have a funny story about that, too. We were down in Texas doing the last Wizards Texas show. And, Texas is not overly cold, but at that time of the year, it wasn't overly hot either. Okay? So it was that wonderful little medium. But they had the AC cranked in this place to the point where I looked at a $50 Green Lantern hoodie and said, that's a good investment. And I dropped the $50 on the spot. My wife had a hemorrhage when she heard that one. But I said, you know what? I'm warm and you're not. So I basically, I'm going to wear that hoodie until it rots off my body. So.
Now, were you pro Green Lantern, or was it the hoodie aspect that really put
it was the hood. It was the warmth aspect of it. It's like, I get to retain my core temperature today. Yay! But I have to say, they cranked it up to keep the convention funk down.
Yeah, because that's a deadly danger. That's something that's so... you have to avoid that at all costs. The fanboy funk will knock you on your ass.
No shit, really? Oh my god, I had someone at a show come up to me and it's like, he had baloney stains underneath the armpits. And I'm going, look, I'll give you a comic book. Just go to someone else's table for a little bit, please.
Yeah, it got so bad at one of the anime cons, I think it was Boston.
Anime Boston.
Woo! Yeah, that they actually started cleaning out deodorants in the goodie bag.
Yep, the hygiene theory will come and kick your ass. So, yeah, it was also Aresia. They had the hygiene theory.
like hygiene.
Words like hygiene. Thank you. Something special.
Something positive.
Something positive. I'm special and he's positive. Okay.
Never positive.
All right. So,
special, yes. Positive, no.
Yeah. So let's talk for a minute. You were telling me before, how did you end up starting this book?
Okay, I started the book. It was originally I wanted to create a comic book. I wanted to be a comic book writer. But I tried writing the superhero cape comic, and I sucked major ass at it because every concept I did or came up with was already beaten to death by either Alan Moore or appeared in a Spawn comic book, and I didn't want any part of that. So
no, it's bloody Todd McFarlane. What were you going to do?
I'll tell you a funny McFarlane story in a second. So I was digging through my drawers at home in my desk, not my pants, and I came across one of my old gaming books. And it literally stabbed me because I was reaching in and the metal from the spiral notebook stabbed me. And I'm like, what the frick is this? I pulled it out and all this stuff just was there. So I started rewriting, retooling it for a comic book. And I basically hired an artist, which was Brian Brinley out of Texas. He does the pencils. and I started 8 pages. And then my wife goes, it's not too late to enter Small Press Idol. And I said, okay. So we entered Small Press Idol, and I showed off the work, the character concepts, and they said, there's only one thing you have to worry about is that it's a 12-page submission. I only had 8 pages done. Oops. And whoops. And Brian starts going great instantly. Well, what are we going to do with the other 4 pages? How are we going to... Because one of the characters, Shitty, the girl with the tail, she wasn't in the original 8 pages. She wasn't supposed to come along until after that story. So it's like Brian's going, how are we going to introduce her? I go, don't worry. There's an old trick in the comic book trade. If you want something introduced, take it from a different angle. So I literally took it from a different angle from that area. So there were 4 new pages created. And you can tell by the artwork that Brian did the 8 pages as, a birth job. But when we started going into Small Press Idol, he actually started falling in love with the character, started moving it along, and it was really great. And we submitted, we came in second out of 210.
Still.
It went from the original beginning, 210 submissions, concept pitches. They got judged by the judges. I felt bad for the judges at that point in time. All 3 of them were going, oh God. I won out, I have to admit, I won out over Super Pimp. So, hey.
Super Pimp.
He had the Cosmic Bitch Slap. So Pirates won out over the Cosmic Bitch Slap, so I was happy about that.
Now, to be fair, that was originally a Jack Kirby concept.
What, the Cosmic Bitch Slap?
I can see that, yeah.
So, the Cosmic Can Opener and the Cosmic Bitch Slap was Kirby. Yeah. Okay. All right.
He had legs. He was everywhere.
Legs? Boy had 4-wheel drive, okay? Let's not, that's one of my greatest, only regrets in this business. I never got to meet Jack Kirby. I wanted to meet him before he passed on. I wanted to shake his hand. I wanted to thank him for starting all this stuff and sticking with it and fighting for his rights. And he basically, if it wasn't for him, a lot of artists now wouldn't have the rights they have now.
Right, that's completely true.
Yeah.
Before his battle, Marvel gave nothing back to anybody at all, ever.
No one got the artwork back. No one held on to their original designs. No one got credit for their concepts.
And there wasn't even incentives or royalties. Right?
No. You were a wage slave back then.
Yep.
In independent comics, you're a wage slave, but you're a wage slave doing the book you want to do.
Right.
You own your own whip, so to speak.
Pretty much, yeah. And, I hand my whip over to my wife because when I have a deadline due, crack! You gotta get 5 pages done tonight. I want to see it, mister. It's like, oh, crap. Okay. Because I had a deadline. I had to do 23 pages in 4 days. I love that. That was like, sit down at the computer, I can do this. I can be held accountable for it. So we pitched to, after the contest, we came in second, and we could either do an imprint with the Small Press Idol people, or we could do it all on our own. So we said, well, we're going to do it all on our own. And we pitched to Free Lunch Comics, and Free Lunch Comics went, you're nuts, we love you, come on.
There you go.
And I wrote out the designs for the first 5 issues, which is our trade paperback. We went from 5 issues to our trade. Cover by James Rodriguez, art by Brian Brinley, and colors by Jetamago. Inking was split up between 3 people. For issues 1 through half of 4, we had Mike Keller. And then Mike Keller left the series. And then issue 5, because it was a 32-page comic, because we didn't fool around. When we went to issue 5, we pulled out all the stops. And we split up the inking duties between Keith Murphy, who's on the show before me today,
right.
March 13th, here up in Connecticut, or down in Connecticut. Shut up, it's my reality, damn you! March 14th. So, he did the inking. This is a very
big day for us. We want it marked properly.
Okay, so he did half the inks for that issue, and Alex Rivera, who's now our inker for our second series, did the inks. And he turned in some really great work. They both did. They were fantastic to work with. Also, Keith Murphy did the watercolors for our anthology. So he did, take a look. I'll get a couple of oohs and ahs out of that one. And I have to give full props that James Rodriguez did a wonderful wraparound cover for the trade paperback. No one can make Scar Tissue look so good as he did on Murderous Meg.
Okay, that's a curious statement.
Well, Murderous Meg is the queen of the pirates in Valendor, and I described her as, she's got body parts missing, okay? She's got a burned out eye, All right, she's got an eye patch on. She's got a peg leg. She's got a pinky missing on one finger, on one hand. And if you looked at her back, she's got a map of whip marks on her back.
Ew.
Well, hey, everybody seems to gravitate towards her, though, because they're like, ooh, strong woman type, Come on, we've got the sexy cat girl. We've got the hard-ass cybernetic cop. We've got a large bear with a shotgun. We've got a half-crazed captain who cheats half the time.
What kind of pirate captain can you trust if he doesn't cheat?
One of my favorite lines, when in doubt, cheat. Don't play by the rules, because in one of the issues, it's like he's facing a minotaur. He sums up, I'm facing an 800-pound minotaur that could easily crush my skull. So he ends up kicking him in the crotch.
There you go.
Boom! And he sticks a gun under his chin and goes, okay, let's do what I'm going to say now because I have the loaded gun. And that's pretty much how we worked it out from there.
Sounds fair to me.
It's to remember if ever attacked by an 800-pound minotaur.
No, yeah. Kick him in the crotch, kick him hard. Threaten to castrate him and serve it up deep fried. So.
Rocky Mountain Minotaur?
There you go. Now, also, we're going to be doing a second series through Free Lunch Comics. He's getting the wrench dip out, people. It's not fun. You don't know what Rocky Mountain oysters are.
I do, sadly, and I'm trying not to.
Okay. He's going to try to unlearn that last piece of information.
Which is never going to happen because his mind for minutia is second to, no one.
A 50 gigaquad hard drive that just stores this crap.
Yeah, crap.
All right, you just lost him because he's like a complete Luddite.
Technology.
I can operate the microphone, I'd like to point out.
After 50, he's just...
I know how to turn it on and click the mouse. That's it.
What more do you really need?
I can find the porn. That's all that's needed. So there you go.
Not anymore, you can't.
Well, what kind of porn do you like?
Okay, that's as far as that one's going.
Are we PG-13 today, or?
Well, only because of the kid element walking around.
Oh, you gotta have me back with kids on.
We're on the edge of civility, not like...
Over and abundant.
Dude, you gotta stay up doing Red Bull through a straw, man. It's not good. So, and then in July at Kineticon, we're going to be launching our second series. Issue 1's going to drop then. And we're also going to be launching our online comic for Free Lunch also. So, Sky Pirates of Valendor is going to be online as a webcomic. The premise of the webcomic takes place 5 years in the past with Tobin and Brian. And this is the adventure on how they acquire their ship, acquire the crew, Sinead, Gears, how they all come to become part of the crew. And we're releasing it chapter by chapter. So knock on wood that it's actually going to work. So now you guys get to ask a question. Come on!
You're just so overpowering.
I know. This is what happens when I have 2 cups of coffee. What have I been reading? I've been reading Stephen King's Under the Dome.
Okay.
Because I enjoy having someone introduce a character for a half a chapter and have them drop the backstory along with that chapter. It was the typical Stephen King predicament. I reread, I'm actually hooked on Blackest Moon, which is kind of strange. I didn't think I was going to like it, but it actually turned out to be a really good series so far.
Yeah, it started getting worrisome as the build-up took so bloody long. We're like, can it possibly pay off properly when it finally gets cracking?
Let's give Wonder Woman a sapphire ring and come up with an excuse to draw her with even less clothing on. Yep, there you go.
That's pretty close, yeah.
Let's give Lex Luthor an orange power ring and see what happens.
Yeah, well, see, that's completely appropriate.
Yeah, that's completely. Let's give Scarecrow a yellow ring. I wish they would leave Scarecrow with the yellow ring now. I hope someone gets to keep the
they
power
bloody
ring.
well might.
I hope so because he deserves it. And let's take a Batman villain and supercharge him. Give him something worthwhile. Make him a big threat.
Yeah, because none of his guys ever really. I mean, when was the last time you
Killer
saw?
Croc. That was the last one that had a superpower. Killer Croc.
No, that
Phosphorus?
that moved over into the greater DC universe is what I'm saying.
Never happened.
Exactly. I can't think of
the
one.
Rogues Gallery is always going to be the Rogues Gallery, and that's it. But give Scarecrow a power ring. Give let Lex Luthor rip Lampfreeze's head off and take the power ring. Okay, that's what I said. Come on, let's make Lex Luthor a viable threat to Superman now, instead of being the guy hiding in the underground bunker going, I want to kill Superman. You know, let's bring him to the forefront.
He's not supposed to be here. He's an alien.
He doesn't deserve the right, you know. And then
He cost me my hair.
go back to that already.
I live with that. That's every day. That's where I wanted to stay. I like that.
I want to kill Superman because he took my hair.
Because I had a white guy, orange afro in 1977 that was lost.
Let's go back to John Burns' Lex Luthor, where he was a power-hungry businessman.
It's a little more fun.
I want that. No, let Lex Luthor be a power-hungry businessman again. Come on, he was ultimate. He was the ultimate ruthless bastard in the DC universe. Bastard is PG-13, kid. Sorry. There's a lot worse you'll find in PG-13. It's Steve Hall.
I work with him.
It's my friend Steve Hall Beaker. Dude!
Oh, okay, you know the guy.
I know the guy. He said
I
a lot
thought we were about
worse.
to get in trouble.
No. Earmuffs, kid. Earmuffs, okay? No. So let's
There's a place you pay for being a mean.
What else have I read? I've read World War Z.
I love World War Z.
World War Z, which
love
is the biggest kick-butt book, best written book I've read in a long time.
It is.
It is. And then...
Now, did you hear the audiobook?
No, I've yet. Don't spoil it for me. I want to get the audiobook off of iTunes. I'm just waiting for my computer to come back up and we'll be all set.
Alright, all I'll say about it is you totally forget that it's fiction.
That kicks ass.
You really drop in and it sounds so much like a documentary, and all the people, all the voice actors are so intense.
They have more
with
than
it.
one voice actor?
Oh, yeah.
I'm so there. Because they also came out with First Encounters from World War Z. And it's a graphic novel. It's the points through history. They show points through history that the zombie infestations happen. They take it from cavemen to the French Foreign Legion being trapped out in the desert to modern times, and then it connects into World War Z. And I thought that was a really cool concept. And then I read the Zombie Survival Guide just for kicks and grins.
Oh yeah, I got that first. I didn't even know about World War Z before I picked that up.
I read World War Z. I was actually recommended. Someone loaned me their World War Z. It was a coworker, and then he left my job, and I got stuck with the World War Z, and I lent it to another friend. That friend had read it 4 times and then passed it on to 4 other people. So she's like totally engrossed in it. She
She's
goes,
like, hey man, where my book at? Who you give it to now?
you know, I haven't heard from him, and if he listens to this, Jeff, I don't have it anymore, but if you want a book, let me know. I've been reading a lot of the
people together. New podcast.
It's Facebook, but with audio and swear words. What am I, Anthony Bourdain already?
Oh no.
What else have I've been reading Girl Genius. I love Girl Genius.
Phil Folio.
Damn Kit Butt. Devil's Panties by Jen Breeden. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I've read a few of those.
Girls with Slingshots. Freak Angels by Warren Ellison off the Avatar site. It updates every Friday and it drops like 5 pages. And the artwork and the coloration is fantastic. Dude, why? What? Just go hug Sue. She'll go crazy. Sue's my wife. She's also my person who basically, when I started this, she keeps me going in the right direction. I have to give her props. I have to give Brian Brindley props, also my artist, because without him, none of these ideas would come to life. And I'm never going to let him go. So he's mine for life. He's mine. And his artwork, we found a great inker to pair him up with, Alex Rivera, who has saved my bacon with our issue 5. And he's doing a great job on the next issue. I got to see some of the pages. And for the fans who listen to this, there's going to be a big reveal in the first issue of the next series.
Excellent.
And I'm also going to be splitting up a little teaser for the next series. I'm going to be splitting up the group into 2 groups. We're going to take a look at the Valen royalty in Valendor.
Yep.
Because Valen's the human empire. In Galea, we're going to get to see an elven civil war. And we're going to have a pirates versus ninja my way.
No.
Yep, steampunk pirates versus the Assassin's Guild in Valendor is called the Night Razors. And they get contracted out to kill people. So the Night Razors have been contracted to kill the royal family of Valen. Okay? So we're going to have ninja fight versus pirates. And we're just going to, it's Gears versus the Night Razors.
bliss, really.
That's geek bliss.
It totally is.
It's going to be steampunk blitz because we're going to have the hand crank Gatling guns going. We're going to have a weapon I deem the Leech engine, which basically it's one of Gears is a cybernetic female from a far-gone war because Valendor used to be technologically advanced, and then they fell. So they've fallen back into a steampunk technology, but she's a leftover. And she only knows so many weapon systems in her cybernetic gear. Well, when the danger really hits, when something big hits, she's never gone up against a creature this size before. So her weapon system kicks in, and basically she transforms into a leech engine. Basically, it draws all ambient energy into a singular blast. Oh yeah, there's going to be a 2-page spread of this thing getting cooked off.
Nice.
Oh yeah, my editor is going to kill me. But you know what? If one thing I've learned, a 2-page spread can be a beautiful thing because in Blackest Night there's some beautiful 2-page spreads.
Oh, they're absolutely good.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Number 4, I just got out of the 50 cent bin today because I missed it completely.
Nice.
Yeah, I got to read it today, and I got to open up to that 2-page spread with the zombie villains coming at them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. And then Necron Rising, it's like, oh, crap. Geekgasm. Oh yeah, if anybody doesn't read at least the first couple issues of Blackest Night, they should get out of their mother's basement and get into the light. So, what else? God, I'm drawing a blank on some of the reading stuff I've read lately because I've been going through trade paperbacks a lot too. You remember X-Men Classics when they started reprinting
the covers were all?
Right.
Yeah.
When they started reprinting the Byrne Claremont X-Men, they put in the little vignettes in the back.
Yeah.
Right.
And this one, it's classic X-Men vignettes, and they put it all together in one book. And there are some really good stories in it that I missed because it's like, oh, it's a reprint, I'm not going to buy it. But dude, you missed out on all these great little stories.
Kevin Nolan did a couple of articles.
Yeah, he did. He did fantastic
Had a
work in
whole
it.
lot of those.
See?
Had a whole lot. You done? Yeah. You're out?
Dude, he's leaving. No, don't ever leave. Or is this
No,
just...
not really. There are no time limits
There are
here.
no time limits. Oh my god. You know you've uncaged the Kraken now. Release the Kraken. Yes, Liam. I mean Zeus.
Okay, Mr. Olivier.
No, I have to admit, I don't think I'm going to see the new Clash of the Titans until it comes out to DVD, but I have to give them props on something. They didn't make the hero look like a pretty boy.
Yeah, there is that.
They made Perseus look like Jason Statham. Come on. He's got the buzz cut hair. He's wheeling around Brad Pitt's sword from Troy. And, he's got the leather skirt on. They didn't make them look pretty, and I'm kind of glad for that.
Well, Harry Hamlin was,
I know. He liked running around in his toga a little too much.
He was excellent in LA Law.
Oh.
That didn't have
But I am going to miss...
to do with...
I have to say, I am going to miss the Ray Harryhausen effects. I grew up
I
with Ray.
streamed that on Netflix last week.
You did?
I did.
And?
I was digging it, and then I fell asleep.
Yep, see? Horizon came out with a vinyl model of the Medusa from that movie. That if I ever see that at, like, a toy fair or something, I'm going to, like, hawk my kidney and buy it. Because I saw it once at one other convention. It's like, well, I've got $20. I can either buy food or a model. Food won out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I should have bought the model, but damn, it was a beautiful kit. And, if there's one person who deserves, bless you, one person who deserves a Lifetime Achievement Award in special effects, give it to Ray Harryhausen, man.
Hey, didn't he get at least 3 of those, really?
No. Correct me if I'm wrong. If there's anybody who emails into the show, if you correct me if I'm wrong, I'll eat my hat. But I wish he'd get one more before, if any, he'd get one more recognition before he passes on. Because Avatar was a pretty movie. But come on, does James Cameron need another Oscar in his pocket?
He really doesn't.
He needs that like Lyndon Hamilton needs another nose job. Come on.
I believe he's made a charm bracelet of it.
See this? This is my ex-wife's eyebrows. Ew. I thought it was a triple, Dad. So did you guys see Avatar? What's your thought on Avatar?
I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was really, for the most part, the characterizations were nothing I hadn't seen before. It was Dancing with Smurfs. Really.
Dancing with 9-foot Smurfs.
Yeah.
And you?
Yeah, he's being kind. It was very long and very pretty and not worth watching.
Okay. All right. No, you are the first two human beings that I've actually talked to that had a negative opinion of Avatar. And I'm cool with that because I'm not going to waste my money until it comes out on DVD.
I will say, if you're going to see it, you should see it in the theater because the visuals are the strongest part of it. So
Yeah, but, you know, you see this is a wedding ring, people.
Nah.
This means that if my wife says, no, we're not going to go see it, I'm pretty much screwed.
right.
So I have to wait till it comes on DVD, pay-per-view, and, you know, I can wear the little 3D glasses at home and go, I'm stupid.
Right, so now, for people who are interested in Sky Pirates, where would they find that?
You can go to freelunch.com, and it's spelled just like it sounds, freelunch.com. Free lunch is all one word, .com. And you can go to Sky Pirates. Sky Pirates is spelled SkyPirates, and then of Valendor, VALENDOR.com. And that's my website. I'm trying to get that shortened down to SPOV.com. But there's a couple of other weird... Spav. Go to spav.com.
Now, can they get this exemplary coffee mug there?
Yes, I gave these guys coffee mugs, and they're squealing like a fangirl here. My God. And
You know, is there a greater thing on the planet to a geek than free shit?
free shit delivered by a stripper.
All right, there's one thing better than
There's always that one up and shit, you know?
Well, you could say free
It's
shit
never
delivered by
enough.
a stripper covered in chocolate, or hamburger, or with a platter of bacon next to it.
All right,
We're guys,
I'll
bacon.
go with the chocolate.
Okay.
Everything is better with bacon. He has it on.
Not everything, man. I don't know.
Silicone boobs are great with bacon. You can't top that. Okay, he's dumbfounded, people. Get me a camera, quick. We'll put this on the website. What? Come on. Anyone who's been in the stripping industry knows that if you have your boobs modified, it's a 10% increase of the dollar bills you get.
This is not something I would.
Okay. Well, I have an old saying: once you've seen one silicone-laden set of boobs, you pretty much want to see the rest of them.
Well, yeah, you know, what did our buddy Walsh used to say about fakes?
For all I know, they could be better. They may come in flavors.
Okay, that's
yeah,
one up on me,
see,
man.
yeah.
Okay, here we go. That's my. Hear this? That's my jaw hitting the floor right there. Okay, that's cool.
So wish we could take credit for that.
You know,
Do we owe him like $1 for that? Does he have it trademarked?
I think he might.
Oh my
probably has a t-shirt by now.
Walsh is the kind of guy who would do that.
He's gonna call it.
I want a nickel every time somebody says it.
Holy crap, that's funny.
I own $50 for it.
But you can get the mugs. They're white mugs with the Jolly Roger on them.
And a good one too.
Yeah, that's not bad right
It's not
there.
your standard one. That thing is really cool.
That one, I have to give credit to Nigel Say. He designed our Jolly Roger, and I'm gonna go. He's gonna be at Anime Boston, so we'll be sneaking the pirate flavoring under the table, so the little kiddies don't get disturbed. But I must say, I had fun at that show because I was throwing around Hershey's Kisses at that show. How can you not have fun throwing Hershey Kisses at the Naruto clones? Come on.
You know, I'm thinking
come back from that one.
with Naruto clones, I'm thinking bricks, really.
Well, funny story, when I was promoting the book in free lunch in the Small Press Idol contest, I had to go to Kineticon to pass out flyers.
That's a scary place, right?
And I was dressed as a pirate, handing out flyers to ninjas. And they were like, oh my God, what are you? So I literally was chasing after the Naruto clones, throwing up wadded pieces of paper at them, going, over my book, you bastards!
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So I get to do that on a regular basis. I have to say, though, the anime crowds have been really good to us. You know, they've opened up the book, they've read it, they've embraced it. Unfortunately, I had someone come up to me and go, oh, she's got a tail. Does that mean this is a furry and yipping book?
No, stop talking about furries. We don't believe in furries.
Dude, I got mugged by one once. It's like, no, go away.
All right, that's a frightening prospect.
No, they had this animal head on. I think it was a wolf or something. And what freaked me out most is that I can't look. You're used to looking in people's eyes when you're talking. See?
Yeah.
We're talking, you're looking into my eyes. I'm looking into this thing's eyes and I'm going, it's not freaking blinking. This is screwing with me, man. I am not used to talking to something that doesn't have mouth movement or eye movement on it. And it's like, this is screwy.
Haven't ever understood furries, ever.
I don't understand them, but they dropped money at my table, and that's all I care. Their money is as green as everybody else's. It's just I'm not into your lifestyle.
That's a very good point, really.
There you
But
go.
it's still can't handle it.
You can be as crazy as you want, just as long as you pay for your book. And as soon as you leave the table, that's what I'm going to be talking about you, okay?
Be forewarned.
Be forewarned, I will snicker at you later.
Too funny, man. We're very happy to have you around.
So what, did I eat up 2 or 3 episodes on this one?
No. You got almost 3/4 of an episode in there.
Cool. Now, do I get your cards? Because I'll put you on my Facebook now.
You totally would have.
Yes,
if you remembered them.
If I had actually been awake when I left the house, yes.
You know, I don't want to hear it. My wife got me up at 5:30 this morning.
It was actually 4:30, thank you, Daylight Savings Time. Or 6:30, something horrible.
I went to bed at 10 o'clock and got up at 5:30. I'm going, this sucks. Haven't had to do this in over 2 years. God, why me? So I got up. I have to say, we remembered the banner, we remembered the books, we remembered the coffee mugs, which is a good thing, and we remembered the giveaways. So, and the giveaways, we do little postcards with character conception art, the covers for the comic book. That was actually issue 3, the orange cover. Dude, it's got 10% more orange than like a Savage Dragon cover.
Is that what is generally regarded as the orange cover?
The orange cover.
That's like an Image Classic, the orange cover.
The orange cover with Savage Dragon. But we have 10% more orange. Go figure.
100% less Savage Dragon.
Win-win everywhere.
Because
now, come on, is Savage Dragon really that bad? Or do you think Liefeld should get another game?
That is uncalled for.
What? No, I want to see something original out of him that I think,
You mean Larson?
Larson? Is it Eric Larson?
Yeah.
Then Liefeld
was Youngblood.
Youngblood, thank you.
And Bloodwood.
And
Blood. And Wolf Blood.
And we can credit him for creating Deadpool and Domino.
And Young
and Shatterstar.
Cable?
Yeah, he's credited with Cable, so.
Which means he gets striped. So it's just a perfect round of no thank you.
All right. Well, did Larson ever put out anything other than Savage Dragon lately?
He contributed to Image United, but.
See, I've been also reading Image's Shadow Line, the Shadow Line. There's another one. I actually found my copy of, what was it? It was the one After the Cape. It was an Image
After the Cape.
After the Cape. It was by Alfred Wong, who I have to credit also. He did give me some great advice. He said, I wanted to do one story to start the Sky Pirates line. He said, no, you want to do this story. And that ended up being our issue 0.
Oh, okay.
He said, look, I've read your stuff. The script won't do as your issue 0. However, your idea for this would be perfect. So I said, okay, fine. I followed his advice. And then he came out with After the Cape, and I read through that. I said, this is kind of screwy, but I like it. So there was this black and white noir feeling to it. I said, yeah. And then I started reading Bomb Queen. Oh, God. Why me? It's like a train wreck. You can't move away from it. It's like, okay, I need the next issue. Horus Ninja Wars. All right. Cyberella.
All right, I'm finished with this box.
Okay. And that concludes our day here at, what show is this?
This is the Southern Connecticut Almost Con.
Almost Con. Oh, come on, it's not that bad. I sold a book today, a $5 book.
A book.
A book. I sold a book.
I'll throw you a tenner.
You can throw me to the wolves because I hit up the 50-cent bin, too. Because I love the 50-cent bin. I want to do a review column called the 50-cent bin.
We did actually rave our 50-cent lines earlier.
Oh, you were raving about the 50-cent lines.
Yeah,
I missed that.
Kickers Incorporated #1 that I found.
Dude, you need to get out of your mother's bed. At least he didn't pick up US 1, okay?
Oh, if he had done that, I'd have... Oh,
you would have lost some street cred, dude.
Yeah, but let's not forget, US 1 later moved into space thanks to John Byrne when that guy teamed up with an alien to space truck.
Yes, but I got another one up on...
Okay.
NFL Super Bowl.
I did not find that one, but I did look.
Team America with the Phantom Bike Rider.
Ah, yeah!
Secret Wars, where the only thing good that happens is Spidey actually gets a new costume. Okay, and the Hulk gets sat on by Galactus. Can we just go back to Crisis on Infinite Earth, because that was a hell of a lot better. That was hella better. Here's a nice little...
I heard hella.
Hella?
Why did I hear hella?
South Park.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, just checking. Here's a cute story. My wife had this stack of Crisis on Infinite Earth, a stack of all this George Perez stuff, and he was at Comic-Con, and my wife put the autograph books on her chair rests.
All right.
Okay, Samara's in a wheelchair, and she went up to George Perez with these stacks of books, and the little 3x6 note on the front of the table said, limit 35 books.
35?
35 books. She had it easy 50 books there. And the portfolio of his Batman black and white covers.
Really?
Yes, she found that for $1 at a flea market show.
Well,
The guy didn't know what he had. He cleaned out someone's basement, had all these long boxes.
How come I never get to do that?
Well, you don't go to South Attleboro and basically say, okay, I can get past the cat urine smell of this place, let's keep going.
You know what? If that's what's happening in South Attleboro, I'll stay down in Guilford.
There you go. So he basically cleaned out this guy's basement and he was just selling off the comic books, and she picked up this thing for $1. And I go, wow, the outside was kind of beat up, but I opened up and the prints were in perfect condition. So she goes up to George Perez and she goes, Mr. Perez, I have more than 35 things. Are you going to be around? I'll come back so you can... He goes, no, let me have it all. He picks them off the chair rest, puts them on the table, and starts cranking signing them, man. Wow. The guy is a machine. And then he opens...
Well, you can tell that from his art.
And then he opens up the portfolio and he signs every freaking plate of the portfolio. Wow. And then gives it back to her and goes, here you go. And she goes, I met George Perez and he's a really nice guy. And I'm screaming going, God damn you! I met George Perez on the way to the bathroom at Heroes in North Carolina, and that's it. It's, hi, Mr. Perez. Boom. That's because they stuck my booth next to the men's room. It's like, this sucks.
Oh, that couldn't have been good.
No, it wasn't.
Couldn't have been good.
Every 5 minutes you and then you look at someone going, he didn't wash.
No.
That's when we came up with the game of he didn't wash. Because you can tell the ones that wash, they're wiping their hands up because they didn't have paper towels, they had hand blowers. So you always come out and your hands are always wet. So someone that came out of the bathroom that wasn't wiping them on their pants or on their shirt, it's like, you didn't wash.
Hey, you know what? Hygiene hurts.
It burns. But it's kind of like that game is he off his medication or is he on a Bluetooth? My friend who works in a mall now came up with another game. Is she fat or is she pregnant?
Oh.
Well, she's catty like that. It's like fat, pregnant, fat, pregnant. He's talking to God.
He's talking. That guy just came from behind a 7-Eleven. That's what.
Dude, I just need a fix, man. Come on. But
you know, you ever thought that maybe they really aren't? They're just
maybe God's
not crazy. They're just reluctant prophets. It's like I can't.
I know.
I can't.
You know, back in the old days, yeah, God talked to you. You were a prophet. You were brought into church. You got to speak to the congregation. Now you claim God talks to you. They got you on Prozac. You're right. It's like it's one of my favorite TV shows that I got to catch on Sci-Fi. Joan of Arcadia.
Oh, another Walsh classic.
Is it?
Yeah,
Walsh loves
It actually, I kind of like the show. I thought it was really good writing. If it has really good writing and a really good premise, I'm there.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Human Target. I got sucked into Human Target like that. It's like any show that shows George Perez's Crisis on Infinite Earth cover number 7 is part of the show. I'm there. Okay. And it was fun, and it was really good writing. And everybody says, "Well, you got to watch this show." And I watched it once. And it's like, that sucks. And the writing sucks. The characters aren't believable. I'm jaded as a writer. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If you don't create good
You get
characters,
too close to it.
yeah, it's like, never mind. I'm out of here. See ya. But I actually got to see Joan of Arcadia, and it's like God's talking to her. Where do you draw the line as she's a sane individual or she's Cracker Factory? You know?
I love that phrase.
Is she Cracker Factory? And it's
Should
like,
that be the title?
Is she Cracker Factory?
Yeah.
Is she Cracker Factory? Is she dateable? Well, her last boyfriend, she burned his clothes. She's hateable. Come on.
No. That's cracker.
That's cracker.
Totally cracker.
I call that a good time. I just don't leave anything over her house, that's all.
Unfortunately, that probably gives us a terrible insight into your wife.
Yes, interesting. Or if you ever met my wife, you'd understand. Well, that's from my, bygone days. It's like, I've stopped with the weird women. I just like normal right now. After they come after
Yeah, that's called backpedaling.
That's that's called after the last one tries to shoot you with a crossbow, it's time to look for normal women.
Cracker Factory.
Cracker Factory.
That's the cracker goddamn connoisseur factory.
That's when you've got to look on their forehead and look for the 666s, okay? Okay, you don't bear the mark of the beast, you might be dateable. But I believe in Zarkon, the space god. You still might be dateable.
I know exactly what you said.
There you go.
Sam Tell is Zarkon.
The space god.
Prove you're a man. So I drank some schnapps and went to a hockey game. Just so you know, Rev, and I know that quizzical look. That's a bit of Emo Phillips.
Emo Phillips. The guy who still receives 25-cent royalty checks from UH1. VH1, not VH1, it was
UHF.
UHF with Weird Al. Because they were doing a retrospect on Weird Al on VH1, that's where I got it from. And they had Emo Phillips, he goes, look, I still get a royalty check. It's like,
that's great. He was on the thing for like 3 whole seconds on the screen.
25-cent check.
That's the 25-cent check.
Where is that still being broadcast that frequently? Where you
On
can get
UHF.
On UHF. Actually, he probably gets the royalty check from when they sell a DVD or something of it.
That's a good point. How frequently is that selling?
Weird Al still does concerts.
Cabo bought a copy of UHF.
Come on.
He's got the expanded director's cut for the additional scenes.
What scenes were those? You're never going to figure out.
You guys don't like Bonanza?
Okay.
Here's the funny
You don't need those stinking badgers.
Here's a funny story with that. When Orion Pictures tested that, they came out with the unseen numbers, rating numbers, like they haven't seen since the original RoboCop. It was equal to RoboCop in the audience participation, what they ruled it under. But they also released it against another film that killed it. Can anyone name the film they released it against?
Oh, God, what was it? Was that 89 or 90?
It was 89, and it was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Okay.
And
I was going to say, I don't remember it going up against Batman.
No, but Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade crushed
Yeah, that was
it.
a poor choice right there.
Yeah.
They couldn't have waited 3 weeks to, or moved it up ahead 3 weeks.
Nowadays, it's like, let's not compete with Harry Potter, let's push it around.
Yeah. Or Iron Man.
Oh, goodness. Okay, who's going to be waiting in line first for Iron Man 2 out of this
I do
crowded
not
room?
wait in lines anymore.
What, you get in for free?
No, I show up when I show up, and if there's too many people, I wait for another showing.
But you're going to go see Iron Man 2?
Well, that's
I'm going to see
I
Iron
don't go
Man
anywhere
2.
where costumes may show up.
Okay, let me ask you one question. All right, is there a comic book that should not be made into a movie?
We've actually
Kickers.
debated this.
Kickers? Okay. All right, because you guys have history on it. And
Nothing by Grant Morrison.
Nothing by Grant Morrison. What about you?
The heckler.
You would love a Heckler movie. Don't
But it
try.
shouldn't be done.
This should not be done. The one that I don't think should have been made, and you guys are probably going to come down on me like a pack of bricks here. I don't think Kick-Ass should have been made into.
Really? Well, it's hard to say right now because nobody's seen it really.
I read the comic book. Fish Police.
Fish Police.
Fish Police. No, come on. I like
That was
Fish
a cartoon,
Police.
wasn't it?
A mystery copy of Fish Police has shown up on our
Fish
table.
Police number 3 with Detective Gill. Really, just from the Red Band trailer, I think they might have OD'd on the movie. From the 2 Red Band trailers that they released, I think they might have OD'd the movie right there. I mean, spoon it out a little bit, but they're releasing like hardcore.
Why would they spoon it out? That's what they did with the book.
Well, with the book, you
It
could
took
gradually.
9 freaking years to get that thing out, man.
Well, come on. Did you see the violence level in the book? When Hit Girl takes out that entire room?
Yeah, you can't tell me that took 9 minutes to work out.
Wait, what?
It's JR.
9 minutes?
He's a machine.
Well, let me tell you this. The hardest thing to write is action sequences.
That's when you let guys like JR with their insane brilliance just say, look, there's a fight scene. Come back before the street lights come on.
Let me set this up for you, JR, okay? Hit girl, knocks on the door, guy answers, she lays into him. You've got 3 pages to fill.
Boom, he could do it.
Okay.
He could do it, it's JR.
You see, with me, I have to sit down and plot it out because the fights are going to have consequences in the future. Okay? With me, I have to think what's going on. And I have to push it along to make it,
Yeah, but this is
I just can't
kick ass.
Yeah, I know, but the problem is I just can't cop out and say, here, you do it, Brian. Because Brian will look at me and say, you're an idiot. Come here. There, it's done. Go away. I had to actually plot out some action scenes, but I think it's basically, I think it's OD, man. How it got an R rating is beyond me. The Kiss, I know the
You
Kiss
mean only an R?
Only an R. That sucker should have been NC-17 with some of the dialogue alone.
You know what? That's a very good point. Actually.
Yeah, but NC-17 is the kiss of death to any movie.
Well, yeah, nobody wants to bring it. I mean,
You might as well just put an X rating on the damn thing because of violence. Let's go for broke. Make it X. Then you can release it on DVD, man. Special collector bloody edition, Buy this DVD, get a set of katanas for free. Come on, we'll throw in the steak knives, too.
all right, I'm there.
See, it's like, let Quentin Tarantino go balls to the wall and make it as bloody as he possibly can. Because you're only going to get it cut down to an R, and you're going to have to take all these clippings and put them in a DVD and make money that way.
Yes, that's a very good point.
You're just patronizing me to get me off the air. So
What?
that's fine. I understand.
Believe me, if when I want you off the air, which is in about 3 seconds, we're just gonna... we got just a little more things we want to do today. Our good buddies Biggie here and Cabo over there want to get a recording in.
Cool.
So we've got like 1 hour left to the whole show. So we truly enjoyed you being here. You got great stories. You got an awesome sense of humor. Yeah, totally. We've had nothing to contribute.
Back.
All our guests have been just so much better than us today.
I will find you two, and I will come back. Actually, what I'm going to do...
All right, see, you want to phrase that slightly differently because I'm thinking restraining order.
Damn, you think quick. No, restraining order is later, after the party, and you find out there's been a bottle of tequila glued into your hand.
Okay, time to go, kids. This has been episode 43 of the Mean Geek Comics Podcast on the Edge of Civility. Broadcasting live for the 3rd time in the Southern Connecticut Comic Con, March 14th, 2010. We're going to come back. Just pimp yourself one last time, dude.
This is Everett Soares, writer and creator of Sky Pirates of Valendor, wishing everybody out in Mean Geek Streetville a happy-go-lucky day.
Thanks a lot, man.
The Mean Geek is recorded live at the Reverend Mad Duck's apartment whenever the hell we can get to it. You can find us on iTunes, Podcast Alley, Facebook, Comic Space, our own site, www.themeangeek.com. Subscribe to us through RSS, and most importantly, find us as a proud member on the Comics Podcast Network. Contact us directly through email at themeanergeek@gmail.com.